As a new school year gets underway, books and backpacks are not the only thing that college students should bring to campus. Still ahead, you don't usually think about legal documents, but if you're 18, you probably should. So we'll just keep it simple. We'll break down 4 that you should have. Parents, heads up here too. A new school year is underway now. We're aware of that. And books, clothes, and backpacks are typically what you get to prepare, especially if it's going back to college, right? You want to send your student off to college with all the things that they need. But one thing that you probably forget are legal documents. They're 18 now. They're adults. So there are 4 documents they should always bring with them that could protect them and you in the event of an emergency. What are they? Well, let's turn to estate planning expert Jason Smolen with what they are. Jason, good morning. Good to see you this morning.
Good morning, Steve. Good to see you.
So I have to admit, and I've been down this road with my parents in the past and then dealing with estates. And, you know, you typically don't realize until you need them the documents that you should have in the first place. So we're getting a real head start here when it comes to students going off to college. What is it that we need to make sure that they and we are best prepared?
Sure. I mean, you know, parents are sending young adults to school, not kids, and they have rights. And what parents don't realize is they may not be prepared if something happens with their children to have access to the medical care. So the 4 documents are basically the HIPAA authorization form, because they want to be able to have access to their child's medical records. Otherwise, they're not getting them. The other would be this healthcare proxy power of attorney. If a child is in hospital or at the medical center of the school and they're not able to make medical decisions because of whatever's brought them there, parents want to be able to make the proper medical decisions for their children, and the healthcare proxy power of attorney lets a parent make a decision for a child that's not able to make the decision themselves. The living will, the third document, expresses the child's wishes with respect to medical care. I mean, these are very tough decisions to even talk about, or very tough issues. Donate organs, pull the plug, what continuing care a person should get. A child should play and needs to play a very big role in those decisions that are being made for them if they can't make them themselves. And then the general power of attorney, the durable power of attorney, is basically more on the economics, making sure someone can take over paying their bills or handling their economic affairs if they're unable to.
Sure. Jason, a lot of these are, worst case scenarios, right? So that you have the protections in place should you need them. And keeping in mind that these are students who, up until they were 18, parents probably took care of all their needs, right? So now they're 18, you need to check the boxes and make sure that parents can still help in that process. But that student's 18, they make it through college, now maybe they're 22, 23, they're fine, they've signed off on these documents. Can they get those rights back, or will the parents always have those rights?
So no, these documents are completely revocable. They're not signing their lives away. They get married or they have other changes or changes of heart on these matters, they can be revised anytime they wish.
So as far as the documents that you listed, if parents are just like, let me make sure that I get at least 1 or 2 of these, are any more critical or more important than others? And where do you go if you're a parent or a student to say, let's get this process started?
Yeah, I would say the healthcare proxy power of attorney form is probably the most important, because you can oftentimes incorporate the HIPAA authorization into that document, and that would allow a parent who finds their child in the healthcare center access to the medical records and the ability to find out what's happening to their child.
Yeah, it makes sense. And do you have to do this through an attorney, or can you go a different route?
There are some, well, I guess what I would say is if you want to know you did it right, it's probably best to do it through an attorney. I'm sure there are forms that are online that might work.
Yeah, I mean, it's fascinating when you think about it, because a lot of times you send your kids off to college, you hope for the best, and you don't think that you might not have a say in their medical care. So if nothing else, I think it's a great wake-up call for parents and students to get on the same page when it comes to this. Jason, I appreciate it. We'll put up your information as well. Thank you for joining us this morning and sharing these critical tips. We certainly appreciate it.
Real pleasure. Thank you too, Steve.